What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for clicking on this episode. Before we dive into it, I kind of want to give you guys a little warning about this series. This warning may not be about this show specifically, but throughout this whole series, there will be some talk about some mature content, whether that be suicidal thoughts, actions, drug abuse, just some small, stupid petty crimes. But if you guys are listening to this with your kids in the car or, earshot of a kid, I would be careful. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing and you shouldn't do it. You can do whatever you want. But just be ready to have some conversations with your kids and, just talk to them. And if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, actions, substance abuse, or if they think they're just in a crisis, please reach out to 988. That is the suicidal and crisis hotline. If you're worried about a loved one, if you're worried about yourself, or if you're worried about a friend, please help them get the help that they deserve. They don't deserve to feel like that, and they don't deserve to feel like they're the only person that goes through it, because that's not the case. Yeah, that's really it. That's my spiel. Now, without further ado, we'll dive on to this episode, baby. You guys live life in a happy days. Love you. Peace. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening. This is Behind the Days. This is episode number 13, baby. Lucky number 13. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for the support, for checking out the channel, for liking, subscribing, for doing all that jazz. If you guys are new, thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate it. If you do enjoy this episode, we do have 12. Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. We do have 12 other episodes. A card should pop up in one of the corners. But thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that basic stuff, you guys. Honestly, it helps the algorithm, whatever that means. But I just like to see the community grow. I just like just how many people actually enjoy it. It's really cool. But let's go, guys. This is episode number 13. Let's dive on into it, baby. Let's go. I don't really have much to say. I hope you guys enjoy. So, today's episode, we are going to talk about high school now, okay? So, we graduated middle school, the alternative school. We graduated that, got the CD on graduation day, from grandma. If you guys don't know anything about that, it's in, the last episode. Check it out. So we graduated, and now it's high school. You guys know a little bit about the beginning of high school. You know about the band trip that we did. We went to Tennessee to see the Cavaliers play. So you guys know how that went. You guys know what happened after that. So I'm going to talk to you guys about three main points that high school taught me. The three main, when someone asks me what you enjoy about high school or what you learn in high school, I'm gonna talk about one thing that I enjoy, and then I'm gonna talk about two things that I learned in this episode. So let's dive into the one thing I enjoyed. Band, baby. So I did band for all 4 years of high school. It was awesome. I had a great time. And the one biggest like band moment that I can think of is when we went to we just did this massive trip, and it spanned over like 5 days, 7 days, like a week. And I think maybe a little bit shorter. I think it was like 4 or 5 days, something like that. I'm not 100% sure on like the time frame and everything, but so on this trip, what made it so like memorable is just everything that we did in that short amount of time was so cool. So we had 3 different stops on that trip, and this is probably the most I've done, the farthest I have traveled, I think. And I got to add a few more states onto my checklist on where I went, because I'm trying to get all 50 states. I don't have a time frame. I just want to do it, just enjoy it. But on this trip, our very first stop. Hold on. I'm fast. Let me rewind real quick, okay? Let me talk to you about that morning. The morning of when we all had to gather. Okay. So when it was time for the trip to start, we had a early call time, dude. We had to be at the high school at like 3:30, 4:30, somewhere around there. And let's just say for this story, let's just say it was 4:30, okay? If you were there at 4:30, according to my band director, you're late. So these whole 4 years, we were bashing our head. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And I'm not going to lie, I have taken that principle and just ran with it. I am always at least 5 minutes early to everywhere I go. Maybe even earlier, depends on what I'm doing. If I'm busy, if I'm not busy, I'll just go chill out in the parking lot for a little bit, just hang out. But anyway, so the call time that morning was 4:30. Okay, now I don't live that far from the high school. I live maybe 5-10 minutes away. 10 minutes is stretching it, dude. That's if like heavy traffic. So I live about 5 minutes away, right? And it's cool. My mom's coming along too. There's a whole bunch of parents chaperoning and stuff. She didn't come as a chaperone though. What you could do, like if your little brother or like your whole family wants to come with you, they could sign up too. They would just have to pay their way. So my mom went. My dad and my brother, they couldn't. They just couldn't. They had to watch the house. At this time, we were building a new house too, I believe. So we were leaving kind of like right in the middle of it. And it was like November, okay? This was Thanksgiving like weekend. So it was like, I think a Thursday all the way to like that following Tuesday. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it's Tuesday. So that's all we did. At 4:30, we had to be there. So that means I would have to be up around, I'd say 3:30 to make sure I had all my stuff packed. Because I typically procrastinate packing sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm packed like 2 days before the trip, if I'm really excited about it. But no, dude, I was excited about this. So obviously I packed beforehand, but I just wanted to make sure, this was a big trip. I didn't want to leave anything behind. I want to make sure I had all my chargers, my extra batteries, headphones, backpack, all that stuff, right? So we get there, right? Cool. We got there early, got there on time, you know what I mean? And then it was chill. Everyone went into the band room. All the chaperones went into the band room. All the tag-along family members went into the band room. And we did roll call. Now, it was a pretty big group. I'm not going to lie. Um, but when the buses came, now there was some gossip, that we were gonna have some charter buses. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, it's gonna be nicer, just a little bit nicer than, like a school bus, And I knew what a charter bus was, but I've never actually been on one until this point, so I didn't really know what I was expecting. It was cool. So what happens? Roll call, right? And then they're like, okay, time to get on the buses. And so we walk out. It looks like a whole bunch of like ants just going all out. I think everyone like went out like 3-4 different doors. We just kind of went and then split off because we had like 4-5 buses. And these were nice buses. Like, they were comfortable. I wouldn't say they were comfortable. I feel like it was kind of like a plane on wheels. So, it was all right. It was decent, okay? I wouldn't say it was good. It was decent. I felt like we were on an airplane, Like, the seats were cushioned, but not enough, You still got, like, your butt went to sleep and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But we did that. So we hopped on the bus and then we drove. We drove to our first destination. Bro, the drive that we did, dude, it sucked. And it wasn't even like the longest drive on the it might be the longest drive on the trip. I think the drive was about like 7-8 hours. And so our first destination was Chicago, baby. My first time in Chicago. It was awesome. Chicago was really, really cool, in my opinion. I would definitely go back. Not at the time that we were at, though, dog. It was too cold. It was like, okay, like I told you, it was like Thanksgiving, right? So it was chilly. But, dude, I was not expecting how cold it was. Dude, it was snowing. We get snow here in November, too. So, that's not really shocking. But, like I said, I was just not expecting it. And there was other people, too, not expecting it. Because of the other two trips. The other two stops that we do is a little bit more sunnier. So, a lot of people just packed, like, shorts and stuff like that. They weren't expecting Chicago being, like, 15 20 degrees, you know what I mean? Maybe even a little less than that if it was snowing. But it was cool. What we did there, we saw the Blue Men group. Dude, if they're still going, I don't think they are anymore. I'm not 100% sure. I should have looked that up. But if they are still going and you have the opportunity to go and see them, I definitely would. Now, I may be a little bit biased because I like the drums and I like art and like bright colors and stuff because the colors are bright. If you haven't even seen what the Blue Men Group do, look it up on YouTube. I guarantee there's a video of them. Awesome. Spectacular. I would definitely go see them again if I had the opportunity to. But, so we saw them. We saw the Blue Men Group. Like I said, hands down, awesome. And then, like, okay. I'm gonna explain it a little bit. So we had, like, the first, 7 rows, right? I was the front row. And before the show, they give you this loud, warning. And they're just like, hey, if you're in the first, 2-3 rows maybe, there's ponchos underneath your chair. Make sure you put the poncho on. And in my head, because I didn't really do my research before doing the Blue Men Group, I thought it was going to be kind of stupid. Not going to lie. I was proven way wrong. And I was just thinking in my head, why do I want to wear a poncho? That makes no sense. But I throw the poncho on because they're obviously telling you this for a reason. I ain't going to fight the words coming out of the speaker, coming out of the heavens, So I put the poncho on. Great. And then they come out. All of a sudden, one dude just pops up. They didn't really explain it or anything, but one dude pops up, right? Cool. And then he starts drumming. And then, like, the other two pop up, right? Awesome. And then they start drumming. And then, like, all of a sudden, dude, I don't even know if, I can't remember if they pour it on while they're still playing the drums, or if there's, like, a hose or something that comes down. But just, like, a crap ton of, paint just comes splashing down, dude. And it, like, so the drums are sitting like this, right? So it's just going, and then when they're hitting it, the paint's just flying everywhere. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's why you need the poncho. You don't want to get paint all over you. Duh. But in my opinion, I'm not going to spoil it. You can obviously just go watch it on YouTube if you want. I would definitely do it. It was really cool. Even if you watch like a 1-2 minute clip of it, check it out. It's cool. After that, we went back. I don't think we went really anywhere crazy to eat or anything like that. I think they just provided us some dinner on the bus, and then the following morning, we went to I believe it's the I want to say it's like the world's tallest building. I could be wrong. I think it's not the world's tallest. I don't know. Went to some tower that they got there, and it was all like glass on like the very top, and not like all glass, but they had like a walkway that went all around the building, and it was nothing but glass, like a glass floor, glass walls. It was awesome. There were some people in the group that were terrified, that did not want to even step foot on the glass because they were scared it was going to break. Nah, dude. I stepped on it. I jumped on it, too. Sturdy. I wasn't scared. I mean, if you fall, you fall, dude. That's just, I guess, bad luck. Don't mess with glass, 7 years of bad. Nah, that's mirrors. That's if you break mirrors. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, we went to there. I'm gonna, if I come up with the name of it, I am going to pop it up on the screen. I wish I knew what it was, but I can't remember what it was. So we went there, and then afterwards, we hopped on the bus, and then we went to the airport. Okay, this was day 2 of the trip, right? And well, yeah. Day 2. This is day 2 of the trip. So we go on the plane, and our plane ride was, I believe it was like 2:15 or something like that. So it was like a weird time because you couldn't really book your day if you have it like in the evening, and you can't really like do anything for like lunch or anything because you got to be at the airport for like 30 minutes to an hour early for check-in. So we just hung out at the airport for a couple hours, and I think this was the first time I had never mind. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. There was this restaurant that I had for the first time in that airport, and I can't think of what it was. I guess it wasn't that good if I can't remember it. But it was good at the time. I remember thinking it was really good at the time. It's just been forever since I've had it, so I don't know if that changes, But so we hop on the plane, dude. Smooth sailing, right? Everything is cool. And then we land to our second destination, dog. And this is the part of the trip that it just blows my mind, okay? It just absolutely blows my mind about this place, because I've always heard stories about this place. This place is in all the movies. It's a big like movie place, And when we walk off the plane into the airport itself, dude, they weren't kidding. Las Vegas, dude, is crazy. Dude, it blew my mind that they had slot machines in the airport. Dog, like, what? Who just gets off a plane ride and it's like, yep, time to go, airport right now. Mind blown. I could see maybe like to kill time when you're at the airport, but as soon as you hop off the airport, dog, I'm getting to my hotel and put my stuff up and then losing all my money, you know? I'm not doing it like right there and then. But, nah, dude, I ain't judging. It was awesome. It was so cool. And, so the first night in Vegas, and honestly, dude, I want to say, no. Okay. So, this night in Vegas, what we did was we saw Cirque du Soleil. They had, like, the Beatles version of it, dude. Now, I'm not hating on the Cirque du Soleil. Like, that part's cool. All the gymnastics, all the athletes that are doing all that crazy stuff, I wish I could do that. That's sick. But the Beatles version, dude, oh my God. It was a snore fest. I think I fell asleep 45 minutes into the thing. Granted, the show did start at 10:30, so we were late. It was a late night. We traveled all day that day. We were worn out into the day. I think we ate before that too, so that was a mistake, right? So what we do, so we went there, snore fest. I woke up at like the half point. I look around at everybody. The whole row, like, so I'm like the fifth or sixth seat in. So I look down. The whole row to my left is completely knocked out. I look behind me, dude. That whole row, as far as I can see, at least because it was dark, asleep. My two teachers in front of us were asleep. It was crazy. It was a snore fest. So I look at everybody. I'm like, dude, I might as well go back to sleep. So I fall back asleep. I wake back up like 5-10 minutes until the end of it. And, I mean, it was cool, but I don't know. I'm not really a big Beatles person. Like, they got some good songs, but I don't listen to the Beatles. I don't know really anything about the Beatles, but it was cool. It was an experience. I can say I did it. I done that, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I ain't really doing it again. But, so that was the second day. And after the Cirque du Soleil thing, we got to the hotel. Didn't really do anything after that. Fell asleep, obviously, because it was late as all get out. And the next morning, we had another early wake-up call. I don't know why they did this to us. Got us out till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they want us to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, which is actually 5 o'clock at the time that we're used to. And, dude, it was rough. It was a rough night, rough morning. But what we did that morning truly blew my mind. Oh, what we did, we went to the Hoover Dam. Now, I honestly thought the Hoover Dam was probably going to be the lamest thing that we would have ever done on this trip. But, just like the Blue Man Group, I stand corrected. It was probably some of the most mind-blowing thing that I have, like, ever seen. Like, nothing has come close to the Hoover Dam, in my opinion, that I have seen personally. Now, there may be cooler stuff out there. I just haven't seen it yet. But if you guys have not seen the Hoover Dam, and you guys have the opportunity to, check it out. Get the tour and check it out, dude. Because we had, like, our own private little, I wouldn't say little, but we had, like, our own private, like, tour. There was, like, 20 of us in there. and dude, it was awesome. Yeah, we had like 20 people in our group, right? So they had a whole bunch of us just scattered around. It was awesome. Like just thinking about how they built it and how long it took and what it took, the lives it cost. Like there's people buried in the cement of the Hoover Dam. Think about that. There's people buried in the cement of the Hoover Dam, dude. Like that's insane. So, we do the tour, just mind blown. It was awesome. I'm not really gonna lie. Like I said, I'd definitely check it out if I were you guys. If you guys ever have the opportunity to, um, definitely do it. It gives you a chance to go to Vegas and go see something mind blowing. I think it's one of the seven wonders of the world. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong about that, but we're gonna say it's the eighth wonder of the world. It's pretty freaking awesome. Um, so we did that basically all day, and then that night, because that tour was about like four hours, because everyone asked questions, people asking questions and them like giving us the long answers and all that type of jazz, you know what I mean? And so after that, we had dinner, and where we went, it was good. It was Thanksgiving, right? It was actual Thanksgiving Day, and we had Hard Rock Cafe, baby. Dude, I felt like a celebrity, man, because it was closed. We rented out the entire restaurant. Awesome. That was a really cool experience. Just being able to be like, yeah, dude, we rented out that place. Like, pretty sick if you think about it. It's pretty awesome. Food was okay, it was Hard Rock, so it was decent. Like it was good. Um, but like, yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was awesome. And then, so that was like day 4. So day 5, dude, another early wake up call. 5:30. 5:30. 5:30 in the morning, dude. What? And you thought we were going to go to the airport and catch another plane? You'd be wrong. Nope, we hopped on a bus, baby. We had to hop on a little bus all the way, not a little, we had to hop on our charter buses, tour bus, whatever you want to call it. And this was the last stretch of the trip, We had like maybe 3 more days after this, and they jam packed it. Like, so when we hop on the bus, dude, we are still going west, I think. And we go to California. So we drive from Vegas all the way to California, right? And that day, it was cool. We went sightseeing. We saw the Hollywood sign. We did the Walk of Fame, which I'm not going to lie, it kind of disappointed me to see how dirty Las Vegas was. And this was like 2015, 2016. Like, it was dirty. I couldn't even imagine what it is now, especially with like the pandemic and just everything nowadays. I was kind of let down about that, to be honest with you, but I mean, I kind of expected it too because it is a big city. But it was, all in all, it was really cool. We went to the Chinese theater. We just walked it. I think that was on the Walk of Fame as well. Like I said, we saw the Hollywood sign. I went to a really good Starbucks there for some reason. It was honestly, it was probably one of the better Starbucks. Really expensive because it was California, but it was really good. I took this really cool picture of the Hollywood sign through like one of them little sightseeing things, If I can find the picture, I have that photo still, I'll pop it up on the screen. But I don't think I do. But I'll do some deep digging for you guys. It's a really good photo. And then after we went sightseeing and everything like that, went on Rodeo Drive, got a a group photo by the Beverly Hills sign. That was really cool. And then after that, we went to the tar pits. Dude, the tar pits are like the Hoover Dam, man. It blew my mind. I didn't know we still had tar pits. I thought that was still like from the Ice Age, you know? Like you see Sid get stuck in a tar pit on the Ice Age, you know? No, we still have them. LA, like California has them. I think it was like right down the road from Beverly Hills. That was really cool. They had like fossils and stuff. They had like stuff actually like looking like it's sinking into the tar pits. I'd say go check that out too if you want to kill maybe an hour or so. I think that honestly was pretty cool too. But that was it for that day. After that, we just did some small stuff. Just walked around. I got some pizza, but I don't really want to bullshit you guys. I'm not really sure. And then the second to last day, okay, this was the meat and potatoes. This was the whole reason why we had this trip. Disneyland. We played in a Disneyland parade, and it was awful. Terrible, dude. It sucked. But it was awesome at the same time. The only reason why I would say it sucked because we still had to wear the band uniforms, and those things were really heavy, long sleeves. I had to wear like overalls too with a jacket, and you couldn't breathe. Like you obviously you could breathe, but like you had to like really just like suck in a little bit, And dude, the heat, I think we had like 6-7 people pass out because of the uniforms, and like we didn't stop. Like I think we marched all in all. I think we marched like 4 miles, 5 miles, something like that. And yeah, dude, it was hot. I think the parade happened at 10, 11. No. We had to be at the trailers at 10. We had to get dressed and everything by 10:30. We had to check in with the parade guard people, like check-in people, by 10:45, and then we started marching the Disneyland like main park or whatever. I think did we do both? I don't know, but I know for sure we marched like the main park. I don't know if it's like Disney World that has 4 different parks. I know they have 2, but I don't know if they're connected or not. I can't remember, but we marched it all, and we marched it all by 11, and then it was 11:45, 12 when it was completely done, when we were out of the uniforms, back to the trailer. So we marched all in all like an hour, give or take, But we did get a pair of ears. I think it is dated, because I think we went on like a special anniversary or something like that. I could be wrong about that as well. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments below, because I'm really curious now on that. I could just look at the ears, but I ain't gonna do that. Let me know what you guys got. But we did that. It was awesome. And then after we got done, we got to play the rest of the day, dude. Like, how sick is that? So we did all of it. I really, 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 really want to go back to Disneyland, just because I really don't remember a whole lot of it. And I want to go back and redo it, see how it is, because I've been to Disney World quite a few times, and I want to see what Disneyland has to offer. Because if it's cool, I mean, might as well go do it and keep doing it. I got my brother's out in California right now, so I mean, perfect. I'll go see him and go to Disneyland. Bingo bango. Yeah, so band played a huge part in my life in high school and middle school and all of that. But high school really made me fall in love with it. And it wasn't just because of the awesome trip that we took. It was also because of the people that I met. And like I said, my percussion teacher, I spoke about in a couple episodes or last episode, she also made it really awesome too. Just having that support that typical teachers don't really show. A second thing that high school taught me was about love, and not just being in love, but also doing what you love, and just like buying what you love. Like if you see something at the store and you absolutely love it, you buy it. Like for instance, I'm going to tell you about the toaster mobile. Okay, that's what we called my car in high school, was the toaster mobile, or the toaster on wheels. It was an awesome car. I'm gonna pop up a photo of me driving it to school for the very first day of I think it was the very first day, or sorry, second week of school was when I got my license. And I'm gonna pop up a photo of what my mom took of me driving off. I came across this photo the other day, and I thought about this car, and dude, I absolutely miss this car. Anytime I see one of these cars, I just think to myself, damn, I shouldn't have given mine up. Because this car was awesome, dude. This car was a little tank. I jumped it one time. I jumped it like 3 feet. Like it just went. It's not actually 3 feet. I'm stupid. I'm exaggerating. But it did get off the air and then come down on a flat surface. Nothing broke. I drove it just fine. And then, like, dude, this one time I fit allegedly like 7, 8, 9 people in that car at once, and then we drove to a restaurant, ate, and hopped back in. It was like a clown car, dude, because the seats could fold up on the side, and then it's nothing but like a bed. Like, it was sick. I miss this car, dude. If I ever find one in somewhat decent condition, like it still runs decently and everything, I'm buying it. I gotta have another car like this. I just love it. It could just be for the nostalgia effect because it was my first vehicle, but I want it. I love it. I miss that car. I absolutely miss it. I had at one time, because the car was like a 2002. Like, it was an old car. Even when I got it, because it was my first car, you're not gonna buy a new driver a brand new car. That doesn't make sense, right? You're gonna wreck it. Which I was in 3 wrecks with this car, and not really a lot of damage happened to it. The most damage that's ever happened to that car was there's 2 times. One, I broke a back window. I hit a mailbox because an animal ran out in front of me, and I swerved to miss it, but I didn't see the mailbox beside me, and I clipped the mailbox, and it busted it hit my mirror, but my mirror somehow hit my back window, and it busted my back window. And then a second time, this was the worst possible outcome. I wouldn't say worst possible outcome, but it was really bad, right? So I was late to work I worked at a restaurant in downtown, and I was late, dude. I was like 20 minutes late, right? So I was rushing it. I was booking it, and the pavement was a little wet, right? And I didn't really realize that, and I took a turn a little bit too fast. Like, I'd say probably like 30, 40 in this little box vehicle, dude. So I could have flipped. Luckily, I didn't. Luckily, I kept it. But I went over too far, and I hit a curb. I just smashed it. And I cracked an axle. I cracked my steering column. I hairline fractured my steering column. And yeah, dude, it was just bad news that day. I thought I totaled the car. Airbags did not go off. Nothing happened. but that was the most damage it took. A freaking jump didn't break anything, but a little curb going 30 miles an hour, it did some damage. Um, but as far as like doing what you love, like that's the aspect of like buying what you love. Like I did get some shit for having the toaster mobile, but at the end of the day, people loved it. Like I had 9 people fitting in the car having a good time. Like I didn't care what the handful of people said about the car. Like I loved it. It had, I think it had subs in it too, like built-in subs in the door. And then there was one like underneath the gear shifter because it was up here kind of like by the radio, right? So there was like a column and there's a sub down there too. So you could rock that little sucker. It had like a moonroof too that had some hitches. The side windows didn't go down, so you had to like pop it out. I did, just talking about this car makes me want to go buy this car. Um, but and then like as far as like doing what you love, like people looked at like the band people weird, you know. That's okay. I didn't really care. I enjoy music. Like music is like literally everything to me, and so I just kept doing that. And then I also played lacrosse for 3 years in high school. I love that. It was really fun. I kind of miss it, honestly. I kind of want to get back into it. I think there's some adult leagues in this area, so that'd be pretty fun to do. So all through high school, I was in a relationship until like my last year and a half. Okay, and like it was great. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and like talk shit about who I dated in high school. Like it was good. We had great times. Did we fight? Yeah. Was it over stupid stuff? Yeah. Um, but that's one thing that like high school kind of taught me. Like going into like future relationships, like it's not always gonna be like how it was at the beginning. Like at the beginning, it was great. Like we didn't argue. We always had a good time with each other. That was really it. And then as we kept going, like we get more arguments, right, over just stupid stuff, whether it be hearsay from friends, something stupid that I did. Because at this time, like, you guys thought middle school was bad. Dude, high school was nuts. Like, what I did in middle school, it didn't change going into high school. Like, me getting expelled from middle school didn't teach me a lesson. It did not teach me, like, yo, don't do this going further. It taught me, hey, be smarter about it going forward. So that's what I did. I was smart with it. Like the only people that caught me doing a handful of things in high school were my parents. Like they'd catch me with weed in the car a few times, and we'd get in a massive argument over it, and then we'd fight about it. Like it was bad. Like one time they found some bud in my car. They found like 3-4 grams in my car because I was stupid and didn't hide it. I thought it wouldn't smell. It stunk up the entire garage. And like I knew something was up. Like I was up because I was thinking in my head, how am I going to grab it before my parents wake up? Well, little did I know, my parents were already up. And I heard the door to the garage open and close. And I was just thinking in my head, oh, dude, I hope they can't smell it. I hope they can't smell it. And then, I just wait a little bit, right? I hear it open and close again, and then I hear their bedroom door close. And I'm like, well, this could be bad and this could be good. And then they got done doing whatever they were doing, and then I acted like I was just like waking up and stuff. It was around like 8:30, right? It was on a Saturday. We had some plans going on, but you know how it goes. I messed that up, dog. they were so unhappy with finding that the weed in my car. They canceled everything. I think we were gonna go to Nashville or something. They canceled that, and we just stayed home. Like I was in serious trouble. They were not happy about it. I hit it in the you know, like where the gas is. You know where you put the gas at. I hit the gas where the gas is. You know. I don't know. I didn't even try. Like I don't even think I'd put it in like a bag. Like there was obviously in like a Ziploc baggie, but I don't think I'd even try to like smell proof it. Like I don't know. Looking back, dude, stupid. I should have thought a little bit clearer on all this stuff, you know. But with that being said, like I was adding a whole bunch of like extra stress and pressure and everything on my relationship because I was always getting in trouble, so I would never be able to do anything because my folks still grounded me. Like I'd still be in high school and still be grounded. Like I'd still get my phone taken away in high school. Like they were serious about their shit. Like especially when it came to like all my illegal stuff. Like they did not mess around. Like my dad threatened to call the cops on me because of those 4 grams of weed. He's like, I could call the cops right now and have you arrested. Granted, I was a minor, so it wasn't really anything they could technically do about it, but put me in jail for the weekend and like scared straight, But me getting in trouble, me being grounded and everything would put a stress on my relationship because Carol freaking like wanted to go out, wanted to go do stuff, and I mean I couldn't. Like I forced my parents' hand. I had to make them be a parent and actually punish me and do the right thing, basically. Like there wasn't really much to it, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we argued so much was because I was always getting in trouble. Like I was always dropping the ball on certain things. Not really thinking about my actions and how it could affect other people and the outcome of me doing something stupid. And then just like little white lies, dude. I feel like I was really bad at telling like little white lies that really didn't even fucking matter. Like really don't understand why I fibbed about that or did a little white lie about that type of shit. Like thinking back now, like it was stupid. Like I don't know. And then I just had so much other stuff going on, like school, dude. I think I forgot to mention in any of the videos for this series that school sucked for me. Like, it still sucks now when I'm in it. Like, growing up, I never succeeded in school. Like, one, because I couldn't pay attention. Like, I was always hyper. People say ADHD, ADD. I think that's a lie. Especially when it comes to kids, especially like elementary school. It's just my opinion. I think it's a lie. I think kids are naturally just a hyper group. I don't think ADD and ADHD is really an effect of having a hyper kid. Like, he's just a kid. And I'm going to try and keep that same mind frame when I have a kid and they're hyper as fuck, because they're going to be like me and just going to be crazy and always got to be doing something. I just got to keep in mind that he's just a kid. Like, I'm not going to put my kid on these, like, focusing drugs that they want to call ADHD meds, because, I mean, I was on it. There's some side effects, and I didn't benefit off of it. Like, it didn't help me in school because the ADHD was not the issue. The issue was why I was struggling in school was because I'm dyslexic. Like, I couldn't read to save my life. Like, in 5th grade, my reading level was a 2.5 to a 3.5. Second, 3rd grade level in a 5th grade class. Like, it sucked. And, dude, I should have added this in the bully episode, dude, because, like, now talking about it, like, that was another main, like, thing that I get picked on. You know how I said, like, me being adopted, me being short, my ears, like, my size and everything. Well, me being dyslexic, me having a quote-unquote learning disability, messed it all up too, because in elementary school and middle school I would go to a separate class to take my tests, because I'd get my test read to me and I wouldn't have a time limit. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about, like, the 45 minutes that you get during a time, like, to do a test or something for whatever the class is, because that's how long the class is. I had extended time because I had someone read it to me. And people would get pissed off because they thought I was, like, slow or, retarded. I don't really know what they were thinking, but that's how I got it, like, perceived it. So that was always a thing too, like, that I had to think about and always have to be conscious about, because going into high school, I didn't really use those tools that helped me get through elementary school and middle school, because I didn't want people thinking what they thought about me in middle school. Like, in high school, I was thinking, like, how it was, like, in the movies and stuff, how, like, people pick on you and shit. That's completely false. I maybe, like, cyberbullying or whatever, maybe that shit goes on, but no one actually ever says anything to your face nowadays. I wish they would. That would clear the air on so many issues, but they don't. That's besides the point. I just shouldn't have thought about that, or even cared about that in high school, but I did. So, me failing classes, dude. Me just struggling in school, struggling to get my homework done. Just, like, procrastinating and stuff. That would put a stress on everybody. Like, my parents, because it'd be fucking 9 o'clock at night. I have a project, like a science fair project, like I did in middle school. I had a science fair project that was due the next day at 8 o'clock because it's my first class, and I just wait until the last minute to do it. So that would get everybody heated. That get everybody in a bad mood. And then once you're in a bad mood, it's kind of hard to get out of a bad mood. So you're kind of in a bad mood all day. So when I go to interact with other people, I'd be kind of shitty. And then that would make them shitty, and then that would cause arguments. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Through high school, I learned that love brings a lot of emotions out of you that you really didn't know existed. Like, I didn't know I could be a jealous person until I started dating in high school. Like, I get jealous. Like, I'm not saying that that's a proud thing. I'm not, or anything like that. Like, that's one of my flaws. Like, I have no idea where it comes from. But, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, so I get, like, jealousy. Like, there's this one time. I'm not proud of this moment by any means. Actually, there's 2 times where my jealousy got the best of me. One time, Carol found out, and the second time, she didn't, because I kind of kept it to myself. The first time was she kept talking about this dude, right? And I kept hearing this dude's name, and me being just like a nosy boyfriend, I'm just asking questions about the dude, right? And she tells me, "Oh, he's gay, Don't worry about it. And like I said, I get jealous, and in my head, I'm thinking, is he really gay? How do you know? Like I was that type of person. Like how do you know? Because there could be some people. I'm not saying there is, but there could be some people out there acting like it just to get close to somebody and then be like, "Yo, I'm actually bi. You want to go out?" Just kind of sneak in there like that. But I got jealous about this dude, and then until one day I met him, and it was at the lunchroom. Our lunch just got over. He was in the next lunch period, so we just she just kind of waited for him to talk to him during passing period. I just kind of waited with her to just hang out with her for a little bit more, and I met the dude. And I was like, okay, she was right. I was like, fuck. I was like, damn, I shouldn't have thought like that. But that was cool. And then the second time I got jealous that she didn't really know about was my sophomore junior year. It was homecoming, and we both got nominated for homecoming. Awesome. At first, I said, fuck no. I said, I do not want to do this. Why would I want to be in homecoming? So I got a phone call, right? Ring. Hey, is this Jacob? Yeah, it is. You and Carol have been nominated for homecoming. Do you want to participate? I said no, but let me talk to her and I'll give you a call back. So I talked to her. Fucking excited, dude. She didn't get the phone call. I did. And she was like, yes. Tell me yes. So I'm like, are you sure? I really didn't want to. And yes, she wanted to. Cool. So I call him back. Be like, yo, this is Jacob. I told you no, I don't want to do it. But actually, we'll do it. Cool. So we'll do it. Right? So they have the votes. They got all that, yada, yada, yada. It was like maybe 3 weeks to a month out. She wins. Fantastic. I'm happy. She won and everything. And then we waited to see who the homecoming, I don't want to say homecoming king, but it was probably homecoming, I don't know, on the homecoming committee or whatever. Because the prince, homecoming king and queen, that's seniors. So the committee. I was thinking, okay, who's going to be with her? Robert's with her. And I was upset. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you serious? Like, this was when, my jealousy, really, it really spiked at this point. Because I'm thinking in my head, dude, they could hop in a nice car together. She's all dolled up and looking amazing. And, they'll be together, and I was not happy. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of upset about it. But I thought to myself, it is what it is, Just be happy for her. So I was. I know. My mood changed really fast. I got upset. I thought about it, for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm happy for her. So I got her a couple flowers, I didn't get her a whole big thing. I got her some nice little flowers to compliment the dress that she had on and everything like that. But, yeah. Love really brings out a whole bunch of different emotions. Yeah. It was cool though. Like I love love. Like I don't I don't hate it. Like there's a lot of people that despise love, and I really don't understand that because love is how the world goes around, you know? You got to have love to understand other people. Um but that's the second thing that high school really taught me was um one, to learn how to control your emotions and know like what they are. Figure out what your weak emotions are that you need to grow from. And me taking control of like my jealousy helped. Like I don't really get jealous anymore. Like if someone's winning, fantastic. Um, if someone has like a better looking girlfriend, congratulations, dog. I don't like, who cares? Like it doesn't affect me anymore. Um, and then the third thing that I think about when I think of high school, I think of rebuilding. Um, this may go a little dark. So we talked about love. We talked about how good it is, not like the emotions that it comes with. Now let's talk about like rebuilding what you've lost. You know, I'm not gonna lie. In high school, I lost myself. Like I had no idea who I was. I felt like I didn't have a purpose. I felt lost. And first, I want to say to anybody that feels this way, that's okay. It's okay to be lost. But don't sit there and not move and not do anything about. I heard this, it's not really a quote, but I heard this saying from somebody. It was on an Instagram clip. And it says, if you feel like you're lost, move. Do something to push you in any direction. Like, let's say you're in the woods, right? And it's woods all around you. You can't see anywhere. There's no landmarks, nothing but wooded area, wooded forest everywhere. And you're lost. Are you just going to sit there? Or are you going to go in one direction for as far as you can and try to find a way out? And if that's not it, go the other way. But don't stop moving, okay? If you guys get anything out of this episode, I want you guys to get that. Don't stop moving. If you feel lost, just keep going. Just one more day. It gets better, okay? I know that sounds corny as fuck, but just one more day. Just one more day, dude. And it got, like, my life got to a point where I really didn't know if I wanted to see one more day. Like, it got really dark. My junior year up until, like, 3-4 years ago. Yeah, junior year was really bad though. When you think of high school, you think of parties. You think of drinking, think of drugs, you think of having fun, right? There's a dark side to all that too. It's called building a habit. And in high school, my favorite two things were alcohol, Jack Daniels, if you want to be specific, a little Jack and Coke, and pills. Most people do weed. Most people do all that. I tried all that. And now I'm not going to sit here and say that I did all the pills and all of that because of weed. That's not the reason why. Weed is not a gateway drug in my opinion. Is it for everybody? No, it's not for everybody. But it shouldn't have as bad of a rap as it does now. And honestly, nowadays, that rap is getting cleaner and cleaner. They're looking to reschedule it to a Schedule 3, which is good and bad. There's just pros and cons, but that's besides the point. I did not get to this part of my life because of weed. I just want people to know that. Don't listen to this and be like, oh, you tried perks, you tried all these oxys, you tried all this stuff because you tried weed for the first time. That's not it. I did these pills because I couldn't do weed. Like, I couldn't do anything else. Like, and being sober at the time did not fucking feel good because I had all these just bad thoughts and just super, super dark thoughts that just kept screaming at me, and I really had no idea how to really like deal with them. Like I at this point in my life, in my sophomore junior year, I have already been in therapy. I have been going to therapy for 4 years up until this point. Because when I first started therapy was because of me stealing that girl's phone in like episode 4 or 5, I think. Or maybe it was the first episode of this start. Oh, it was the first episode of this series. Episode 10, I believe. When I stole the girl's phone and acted like I was her texting her mom. That night when I got home, went to therapy. My parents thought something was wrong. I mean, granted, there was something wrong. I was acting out to get attention. But that's besides the point. Like, I was going to therapy. Like, when people say, well, did you try therapy? Yes. At this point, I had been. And I felt like I couldn't really go to anybody with my issues. Like, I tried talking to my therapist about it, but she'd always be like, well, you know what we do in these situations. She'd try to retell me old tools that I have already been using and they weren't working. So, there was one thing that I found, or 3 things that I found, that relieved all the emotions and everything temporarily. It was alcohol, pills, and cutting. And like I could drink, like I'd go to school drunk. Like I'd have a water bottle full of Jack and Coke. I have it in Coke bottle so no one would know, and I just drink all day. Like my junior half end of sophomore year, junior year, and maybe even some senior year, like there wasn't a day I wasn't sober at school. Like I'd always be drunk, or I'd be high off some pills that I got from somebody, because I had a job. I had no bills or anything at the time, so I had all this money just laying here. If I knew somebody that had a full script for like $80, I'm buying that shit, because you could either flip it or you could just take it yourself, and I'd have to, more than half the time, just take it myself. And that built up a bad habit. Like that mixed with the drinking was really bad. Like there was multiple nights where I thought that I was not going to wake up the next morning because of just how my body was feeling. Like I felt myself just slowing down, like really, really slow, and it terrified me. But I couldn't move because I was too drunk and too high to get out of bed. So I was just thinking to myself, God, if you're out there, like, please don't let tonight be the night. Like, I remember going to bed multiple times thinking about that. And no one knew. No one knew. Like, my parents didn't expect it. Like, my girlfriend at the time didn't expect it. My friends didn't expect it. Like, no one knew. And then I started cutting. I found that. And like I would cut where no one would see. So if you're a parent and you're listening to this right now and you have a kid that's struggling with this, do a strip search. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be proud of it, but I mean that's what my folks did for a little bit, just to make sure I was okay. And I understand it. Like if it was my kid, I mean it's a little extreme, but you gotta be sure. Especially if it's to that point. Like I'm not gonna say never. I did like cut on my arms a few times, but I stopped that shit because I had a old coworker of mine ask me about it one time because I had like two cuts on my lower arm, and she asked me about it, and I said I was like, it's a cat, and she obviously didn't believe me. The look on her face was like, yeah, bullshit, I know what that is, but I'm not gonna ask you about it. So after that, I went to my upper thighs, and it was bad, dude. Like I don't know. Like I can still feel like the scars like on my thighs. Like, and if I shave my legs, because I got some hairy thighs, you know what I mean. But if I shave, like you can see at least one of them because of how deep and how many times I did it at the exact same spot. It built like so much scar tissue, like it pops out a little bit. And like I'm not saying all this to be like, oh, boo-hoo for you. That's just life, dog. I mean, I have a better control of my thoughts and everything now than I did in high school. Like I don't think that way now. Like because I don't worry about the small stuff. Like as time went on, I realized it was just me. I was just freaking out about all the small little shit that I probably can't even control, thinking I can control it because I'm a control freak. I like having control. I like to know that something's going to get done. I like to know how something's going to get done or whatever the case may be. I like to know that stuff. And if you worry about the small stuff all the time, you're not going to know, because the unknown is what life's about. And all through this time, anytime I talk about this, I got to give props to Sophie. Sophie was there for me through the thick, the thin. She was the reason why I'm alive to this day. I owe my life to her. And some of you are thinking, oh, I wonder who Sophie is. I wonder if she's a nice person. She's not a person. Sophie was my 4-pound chihuahua that we had since I was like, fuck, dude. It was like 2009 to like 2018 was when she passed. But I don't know. It had something about dogs, dude. They just know when you're upset. And dude, when I was down on my bathroom floor just cutting away at my legs, and when I got done just bawling, blood rushing down my leg, and I look up and I still see that wagging tail. And I still see that wagging tail like, hey, I still love you. It's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. It's hard to talk about because one, she died, and two, like, it sucks that like I went that low on myself, you know? Like I don't know, just seeing her when I was in that state, just still happy to see me, tail wagging, still want my love, dude. Like, it gave me hope. I don't know. I don't know what it was or how she did it, but damn. Yeah. I owe that dog everything. And it, like, dude, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just get emotional just talking about it and just thinking about it because because there's other people out there that there's just other people out there that don't have that hope, that are still feeling down, that are not able to rebuild quite yet. And, like, it's hard. And some people can't handle it. Some people can't make it through. I lost a few friends to suicide, and that's never a fun phone call. Especially when you wake up to 20 phone calls, 50 texts from your group of friends saying that your homie passed. And, like, it sucks. Like, I am so blessed that one, Sophie was there to be I don't know, dude. I truly think that if I didn't start having her sleep with me at nights or anything like that, I truly believe that I would not be here. It was bad. But that's what high school taught me, dude. It taught me that, there's always light at the end of the storm. You just gotta go one day at a time, dude. You gotta take every moment in that you can, because my mama always says this, because life is precious. You never know when it's gonna be your last moment, and there's no point in stressing out over shit that you can't even control, because if you worry about the stuff that you can't control, you're not going to worry about the stuff that you can control. And if you like to have control, focus on the stuff that you can and not the stuff that you can't. That will bring you more happiness and more joy than anything else, because you're doing your best, because you got X, Y, and Z done, or you feel like you have a better grip on things because, you're not as sad anymore. You just gotta look within, though. Like, I am picking my nose right now in the middle of a sentimental moment. But I feel like one, get therapy, dude. People may talk shit about therapy, but it does help. Oh, dude. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Never mind. I told you. Never mind. I'm done. I've talked so much. I feel like this is the longest episode. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is the longest episode, and I'm losing track of everything that I've talked about because, one, I've gotten off script and I have no idea where I'm at in my notes, and two, I just like getting this stuff off my chest because I want people to understand that life's hard for everybody. It doesn't matter how easy it may seem like someone has it. You may not know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, my folks had no idea about my issues until one day. And I think I'm going to leave that one day as a cliffhanger for the next episode, baby. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I really do appreciate it. Got a little emotional there, but hey, that's what life's about. High school was fun, dude. But it also sucked all at the same time. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't go back and redo anything that I did or didn't do. I really loved it. Met some really awesome people. Got to have great relationships with a lot of great people, and that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Please go check out all the socials. You can check out this you can check out this show on Instagram at Behind the Days Pod. You can check out my clothing brand website, and everything should be running hopefully here soon. I gotta save up like a few more dollars and get one more thing, and then we should be up and running. But go check it out. The website's up and running right now. You just can't buy anything at the moment. Hopefully I'm gonna get that fixed here soon. But you can add it to like a wish list and stuff. Just please go check it out. Go see what we do. And if you have any recommendations or anything about the website, leave it in the comments below. I want to know what you guys have, what feedback you guys want to give me. But you can check out my clothing brand on Instagram at The Real Happy Days Co. And then you can check out this podcast network that I'm going to be a next little side project that I'm working on building at Happy Days Radio on Instagram as well. Also, you can go check out Mojo Supply Co. They supply the necklace that I have on right now. It's not a sponsor. I just know the owners, and I really like what they do. So check them out too. I think you guys would really enjoy what they have to offer. And if so, let them know Jacob sent you. But that's it, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with somebody if you think they'd get something out of this episode or relate in some way. I really appreciate it, guys. Go live life in a happy days. I love you. Peace.